Ding! Hello YouTube, I am Will of Will and Mr. Data in New Zealand, and I'll start off with a disclaimer. Disclaimer is as is where is, use this information at your own risk. Okay, talking about licenses and designing a thing at home on your own software doesn't really give you the right to sell it unless you've checked for licenses and proven that you actually can, because you don't want to get in trouble like I did. Now the software I use is SketchUp, Google SketchUp. There's lots of software you can use, but you want to make sure that you're using a version that is allowing you to have like commercial use. You want one that's giving you that right. The SketchUp was about $500, so it's not cheap, but that's what it is. Okay, so now as far as checking licenses go, I usually start off with 3dmdb.com and filter by oldest first to see who owns what. But you also have to check Yigi and STL Finder and the rest of the internet, and all this can take a very long time to do, but it really is a must. And when you're checking those licenses, you really need to be looking for certain details in the license, like is it a CNC file or a CGI file or anything other than a 3D print file. So you've really got to watch for that. Where to upload. Now initially I was uploading at Thingiverse and creating licenses there, non-commercial, no derivatives, because that's a license that I'm really discussing here because of it being non-commercial. It's one that I was able to sell, and now their service has been down for a little while, and so I don't know what's going on there. Other sites that have said that they will offer the service are Creality. They got a cloud type service, and they are new into this as well. I've been coaching them to see how they go, so that's quite new, so I'm not sure where they're quite at. Thangs also, been engaging with them to get them to do a similar thing, and they also have said that they will offer the service. Now apparently they have actually started. I'm going to test that and put that to task and attempt to prove that. I just want to do a shout out to CG Trader, who are a very good site. They don't do license transfers at this time, they're considering it, but a really good site. The support there is excellent. The response times are really good. Top site, must recommend them. Okay, how to upload. So you've designed your thing and you want to upload. Now how to upload. A good starting point is to look at the T. Earl Grey hot. Just do a search on 3dmdb.com and there's like 7 million files there, and you'll get 3 results, and 2 of them are me, and there's one other cup which is Picard's cup. But if you look at the T. Earl Grey hot license, you'll see in the details how I put everything in the description. So what sort of license it is, not just in the license section, but I put everything in the description, and that actually helps the search engines, because the search engines are not as good as we'd like them to be. They are, in my eyes, a business directory, but they're not 100% accurate, so you've really got to watch that. Critical points in the license are the original upload date of creation, which in essence is the date of invention, and that's a crucial thing to, along with the name of the thing and the description, because everything counts, is that date of invention. I'll come back to that. Also in the details you want the license type. Is it free, like attribution, Creative Commons, share alike, so that's sort of basically a free license, or is it a non-commercial, no derivatives license, which is mostly what I'm talking about in this video, is the non-commercial licenses. Also in the details of the description of your license, things like, is it real food, a real drink, or is it a plastic toy? If it's real food, you want to say it's for human consumption. So you really want something in the license that gives a description of what exactly your thing is. You want the thing license number if that's a relevant thing, and words like work in progress, details may change, can be important to put in there if that's what you're doing. The price of your thing and the terms. Now, it's good to put all those in, and per how many prints, for example, or the volume of what it is that you're doing, depending. And print notes, how it's printed, what the settings might be for the print itself. And as I say, I'm going to say it again, all that needs to go into the description of the thing. Now, I know that all those things can be in different parts of the license, but you want to, again, put it all in the description, and it helps the search engine, and it helps others when they're looking for your business to, when they do see your thing and they go to look at it, it saves a lot of time if they can just read everything they need to know in the description. Okay, now how to sell your license. So I'll just go through as per my notes here. The upload data creation is very critical. You want that to stick with the license, okay? The thing name and the description. So those are your key points. Now, our site here in New Zealand for selling things similar to eBay is a site called Trade Me, and they had a lot of lawyers meetings when I started to sell bigger and bigger licenses, and one of the things that came out of that was to print a certificate to sell with the license. And apparently if you do that, that's all good for us. And again, the disclaimer, you want to check to see what your selling site requires for you to actually be able to sell these licenses. Okay, so to sell, let's say you made a listing and you got a buyer, and you agreed a price and they paid it, and so they've bought it. Okay, so the new owner would download the thing file, the STL file. They would re-upload that file into their username, and with all the description and everything into their username. So now that there's two files in existence, one is your original with the original upload date, and the new one is almost exactly the same except for that upload date. Now that date will be obviously wrong. It's later, so it's not right. Okay, now this is the important part, is the seller, the original seller, contacts the site and requests a license transfer date match, and obviously indicates the buyer's version that they've uploaded. And once those two dates have been matched, that's really that's what you're after, is to get those two dates to match. And once the new buyer's date matches yours, you can take down that original, obviously, because it's been sold, you don't own it anymore, it's been paid for, and the new owner has it in their username with all the correct details, and the original date of creation, or the date of invention, matches that original date when it was actually originally invented, because that's sort of the critical bit there. So let me check my notes. The correct date and of creation. Okay, and I've just put at the end, our deal ends and no further action required. And I always like to tack that on in a deal as per my lawyer's instruction. So that's really the gist of it. So good luck, everybody, and I hope that helps everyone out, and see you again. Goodbye.